Welcome back into TF. Joining me today for your city administrator update, Chad Brecklin. I was like, who's Chad? This Chad guy? Yeah, he's back. He's back. Happy New Year, Chad. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you.
I'm, giving it the circumstance like, oh, was he going to come back or not? Of course he's back here. He's back. He's ready to go. I'm doing good, and ready to cut the teeth into 2025. We're going to start just with looking at ahead to 2025. We kind of talked a little bit about the last time we got together, wrapping up 24 into 25. But one of the areas to talk about would be affordable housing. Is one of there's a lot of priorities certainly, but one of many to kind of discuss. So give us a quick update on what that looks like here in 2025.
Yeah, so our Common Council in particular has been talking about affordable housing for at least a couple of years now, and city staff has been looking at a few different options on how we could potentially look to positively influence the availability of affordable housing here or workforce housing here in the city of Fitchburg. And as part of that process, when a couple of our TID tax increment districts have closed, we have utilized the components of state law that does allow an affordable housing fund to be created from excess tax increment that those districts have generated. So the city does have a considerable pool of money to potentially be able to utilize to help positively impact workforce and affordable housing development. Of course, it is a finite resource, and it certainly is but a small piece of the overall financial puzzle, and that there are many other factors that would come into play to help determine or otherwise make housing more affordable for those who are in positions, such as nurses, teachers, public safety workers, those sorts of roles that earn a good living, but still find it difficult to obtain affordable housing. So one of the things that city staff and Common Council are planning to work on significantly throughout the course of 2025 is ways in which we can potentially utilize this affordable housing fund to again positively impact the cost of housing in the city of Fitchburg. An initial program that is rolling out is the Sustained Gain Efficiency Navigator program, utilizing a rather small portion of this money. I think it's roughly around $300,000 at this point in time, that is looking at improving energy efficiency in some of our existing multifamily, affordable or workforce housing developments or buildings. This was focusing on smaller, more mom and pop owned properties. And we'll be looking to kick off the first projects associated with this program later this summer or later this spring and early summer. And then we did also just recently hear through an announcement from Senator Tammy Baldwin's office, as well as Dane County, that a collaborative grant application that we had put in with some of our affordable housing fund money was accepted, and it's looking like we're going to be able to better maximize some of those dollars to the tune of a $600,000 grant funding that will help kind of expand or extend those dollars that we were able to allocate towards this particular grant application and program. So a couple of nice early developments here in 2025. And, folks should stay tuned, and we hope to have at least one or two more initiatives rolling out over the course of 2025 here to better utilize the funding that we have available to, again, positively impact in at least the ways we have available to us that workforce and affordable housing creation here in the city.
Chad, this issue is a nationwide issue, and just focusing just in Dane County alone, your colleagues from other municipalities are also dealing with some of the same issues. Is that a fair statement? We are tackling it, but we're also tackling it on a global front as well, as I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point, Jeremy. We are not alone in this. I mean, clearly the Madison and Dane County region is significantly challenged when it comes to affordability. the average assessed single family house in the city of Fitchburg is at 457,000. And I think most people can articulate that the average house is probably not attainable for many working people in our community. And it is not just Dane County, but it is the state, and it is also a national issue. And it's going to require a lot of collaboration and partnership to really make a meaningful difference in it. It's not just an issue that local government can solve. It's not an issue that county government or state government or the federal government can solve just in and of itself. It's going to require all levels of government to partner. It's going to require developments, builders, and others to also, and nonprofits to partner to try to, again, work as collectively moving in the same direction with the same common goals and objectives to try to make a positive influence on this. I mean, the bottom line is supply is significantly lower than demand and need. Dane County had a housing study done recently. And if my recollection is correct, between now and 2030, the county anticipates needing 7,000 housing units. And, the share of those housing units that are ideally proportioned to Fitchburg is about 500 housing units a year. And historically, we've done right around 100, maybe 125 single family houses, maybe, of that, about 20 being duplex units. And then typically, maybe 200 to 300 multifamily apartments in any given year. So, I mean, just with that in mind, we need to ideally increase our unit output, another 100 units or so a year. And that's not something that certainly the city can drive or finance or otherwise dictate on its own. It's going to require partnerships to make that happen. So it's a challenge everywhere. It's one that's going to take quite a bit of time to ultimately resolve, but it's not something that's, in our opinion, can be just ignored.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you commented because you might not see it from behind the scenes, but it's a talk in a lot of different municipalities. It's a center talk for a lot, and it's going to take a global effort. And there's a lot of global partnerships between the municipalities, and this isn't just limited to Dane County, across the state and across the U.S. So it's very interesting stuff. Appreciate the comments on that and update. Quickly, we'll turn to we just got done with elections, and here we're going to be talking about elections, but local elections and state elections, they're still come back each year, and we've got one coming up here in February with a primary.
We do actually. There will be a statewide primary on February 18th. That will be for the school superintendent position. Apparently, there's 3 candidates who have filed for that particular role, but there also will be a local primary. There were 3 candidates who filed paperwork for the District 3 Alder seat that is up for re-election. Currently, Alder Jay Allen is in that seat. He has filed for re-election, as have 2 other candidates as well. So there will be a primary for that local race here in Fitchburg on February 18th. And then, of course, the 2 top vote getters coming out of that primary will move on to the general election in April. As it relates to our local election here in April, obviously, we will have 1 contested local race, that being the District 3 Alder race, where the 2 top vote getters will then compete for the final tally for the seat. The other 3 spots that are available, or other 3 seats on the Common Council that are available, Alder Dave Herbst is the incumbent in District 1. He has filed to run for that seat again. He is running unopposed. Alder Bill Jetzer, the current incumbent in District 2, has also filed to run again. He is also running unopposed. Alder Jim Wheeler in District 4 has filed for his non-candidacy, so he will not be running. And I believe it's I better not mention the name. I got to make sure that I have it correct, and I didn't pull it up for this conversation, but there is an individual who has submitted for candidacy in District 4. That person will be running unopposed as well. So just the one opposed race. So
Yeah, we'll have all that information. Will be available. I mean, it is available at the
It
website
is on the
currently,
website,
and
yeah.
then as the ballots get ready to go out here, you'll be able to check that out. And we'll keep telling you about that here on Talking Fitchburg as well.
Mhm.
Quickly, just again, as we look at 2025, you also have some two construction projects. So it was sort of like we took a break on road construction at high level. We always have our
Right.
resurfacing projects and sidewalk projects, all that, but you got two big construction projects going on, one on South Saline Road, one on Fitzroy Road. These are major thoroughfares, so it's going to be big, but definitely needed projects there.
Yeah, it definitely seems like 2024 at least gave us a reprieve from talking about the inconvenience associated with the active construction involved with the road reconstruction project. But as you mentioned, rest assured, our engineering team continues to work even in the so-called off seasons when they're not necessarily actively reconstructing something, doing planning, designing, and other preparatory work in advance of those projects. So we do have some significant projects coming forward this year that will be under construction. Specifically, that is Fitzroy Road between Nesbitt Road and Tonto Trail. And then South Saline Road between East Sherrill Parkway and just north of McCoy Road on Saline Road. So that one in particular will also see the reconstruction and reconfiguration of the intersection of McCoy Road and South Saline Road. And that is also planned to get some traffic signals installed there as well. So we know that there will be an inconvenience to motorists on both sides of the city. This is kind of an east-west impact for motorists who are trying to move north and south in those areas of town. And again, we just ask for people's patience and understanding. Ultimately, these are projects that are designed to improve traffic flow, improve safety, improve, in some cases, stormwater management, and so forth. So it will be probably a bit of a long construction season with those projects. It's our hope that once these projects ultimately get started, that they will be able to stay on track and wrapped up as quickly and efficiently as possible. But again, we just ask for everyone to be patient. Please follow the marked detours or recommended detours for both of those projects as well. And when you are driving in either the marked detours or other areas that you might elect to utilize to get from point A to point B, please be mindful of the traffic laws and the fact that we'd really like you to drive the speed limit and be considerate of others who might be living or working in the areas that you're driving in.
Yeah, we'll have construction updates for you as well as those projects get closer. So we'll be doing this interview like again and again and again. But great information there to get out. I do want to get this in really quick. There was a change to the recycling program this year. That contract was voted I think back in November, if I remember right.
Mhm.
With Pelletary, the change went from unlimited recycling pickup. You still can set recycling out, but just a quick reminder on that. And I do have the information that I'll refer to here in just a second after Chad comments on that change.
Yeah, so you're referring to a change in our contract with Pelletary regarding recycling pickup in specifics. And the Common Council was presented with an option to uh, remove the unlimited recycling collection from our biweekly recycling collection. An analysis that was done indicated that 1 to 2% of the households in the city of Fitchburg utilized that service. However, obviously 100% of the households were paying for that service. So that portion of the service was removed from the contract. And folks who do have more recycling than their current cart may hold could potentially upgrade the size of their cart depending on what size cart they're currently using, or they could utilize our recycling drop-off facility located on Fish Hatchery Road, just to the north of Wayland Road.
Yeah, and if you want to upgrade your cart, the standard is 65-gallon cart. That can be upgraded to a 95 gallon cart for a one-time fee of $35. I want to make that clear. It's $35 this year. That went up in price. And then you still can put extra bags outside for recycling. You have to pick up those recycling bags, those clear plastic bags. It's $4 for pickup. You also have to let Pelletary know that you're doing that ahead of time as well. So, as Chad mentioned, you do have the recycling site just off Fish Hatchery Road near the maintenance area for extra cardboard to utilize. And we do have a video out there as well explaining this change, but had some questions, so I'm glad we got that in there as well. Well, it's going to be a busy year. Looking forward to picking your brain all year long and continuing the updates. I appreciate the time, Chad, and we'll check in with you real soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, Jeremy.